nothing beats that feeling when you're 250,000 VP behind from that 1 million goal and there's only less than 2 days left to hit it. Hey folks, speaking of things that are late and should have been done sooner and shouldn't have been procrastinated on, Link Joker Deck and Fight, haha! Welcome folks, thank you for waiting, sorry for the wait, but finally, I'm ready to show you Link Joker, the Wave 1 Link Joker in Vanguard Zero, and unfortunately it is not as much of a powerhouse and crazy tier 0 #1 deck in the world as people expected it to be. Once Chaos comes out, that will probably change, but for the time being it is much more balanced, a very telegraphed, very easy to predict what they're going to do and how to play around them, and so we kind of, I've been playtesting it for a fair bit, played on stream as well, and it really feels like the games where I win is the games where my opponent kind of gives me limit break and I'm able to lock up their stuff and just go to town, and then the games where they're really smart about denying me like rear guards to lock or denying me the limit break, that's usually where things go a bit south. But before we get into all of that, if you are not already subscribed to my second channel, I just opened up some boxes of the very first, or one box and some trial decks of the very first Digimon TCG set, and we pulled some pretty sexy stuff in there. A whole 3 Omnimons from one box and 6 starter decks. So if you want to see my reaction to everything, and there's more than just this, by the way, I'm showing you this as a flex, but there's more than just that. So if you want to see that, that'll be uploaded at the same time as this is going up. There'll be a link in the description as well as a top pinned comment, so make sure to give that a look if you want to see my reaction, or if you're into the Digimon TCG yourself, because I'm definitely looking to get into it a lot more and post more content about it on my second channel too. But without any further ado, with that little mini speech aside, let's get into it and talk about the deck as well as play some games. Alright, so here we go. Reverse Kai locked up, and it's very blingy. I got lucky with SPs, let's just put it that way. So this is Link Joker, and this is the Nebula Lord variant running Schwarzschild as well. So let's just break it down and go through everything. So Break Ride is Infinite Zero Dragon. So this is the Break Ride. When you Break Ride on top of him at limit break 4, you make almost 1. If you do for that turn, your Vanguard gains plus 10k, and you choose one of your opponent's front row and back row units and lock them. If you don't know what lock is, it basically turns the card upside down, and that circle is unusable until the end of your turn, in which timing they unlock, so they turn back face up. So very straightforward and very easy to understand in terms of what the thing does. Of course, keep in mind that you cannot retire them, you can't call over them, that circle just becomes voided basically. So that's that. So this Break Ride is very good because just by riding over it, you get to lock 2 cards, and that's already very good and gets you kind of started on your other plays that you can do. His other skill is when he attacks the Vanguard, he gains plus 3k, so just helps you hit for good numbers. What are we Break Riding on top of him? Well, most likely we're going to be hitting up the Nebula Lord Dragon. So Nebula Lord has 2 skills. One of them is non-limit break, which is count almost 1 and choose one of your opponent's back row rear guards and lock it. So he can only target the back row, so that means he cannot lock intercepts, which Infinite Zero can lock one of them. But it's nice because you can basically ride into him sometimes, and just like if your opponent called down stuff like grade 2s in the back row that do stuff when you ride a grade 3, you can just like lock them or just lock up their starters, whatever else that is kind of pesky that you don't want them using, and of course occupying their slots too. Then his limit break is at the beginning of your battle phase. For that turn, for each of your opponent's locked cards, your front row units gain plus 3k power. So if you have 2 locked, if they have 2 locked, gains plus 6, 3 locked means plus 9. And then if they have 3 or more locked units, you draw a card. This is the only form of card draw in this entire deck, so keep that in mind. Lock is not a plus. Lock doesn't retire a card yet, and also lock does not draw you any cards yet until Chaos Breaker. But for now, you don't get any plussing from locking. You just kind of like, you pause that stage of the board for some time, for 1 turn basically, unless you relock them the next turn. So this is really nice because this is the only way that we actually manage to plus, so Nebula Lord is really good. But if we don't want to go for Nebula Lord and we want to just like lock as much as possible in one go and our opponent rushed us and everything else, we use Schwarzschild Dragon. So Schwarzschild, his skill is Limit Break 4, Count 3, and Persona Blast to lock 3 of your opponent's rear guards, can be both front row and back row, and gain 10k and a crit. So this is really good, but it's very expensive. Count 3 is huge because we're already counterblasting for other skills like our Break Ride and Nebula Lord and our starter too, and so this is really expensive, so you only really use him when you get rushed or you're going for that game-winning play. His other skill is Vanguard Circle when placed, count +1, and add a Schwarzschild Dragon to your hand. So it doesn't search your deck for it, it just creates another copy and adds it to your hand. That way you can instantly pay for the Persona Blast cost. But keep in mind that's count +4 in total for the 2 skills there. And he's part of a right chain, so when you have Gravity Collapse Dragon, the grade 2, in your soul he gains +1k. We don't care about that in this build. And finally, we run one Knight of Entropy. He has +5k when he attacks the Vanguard on Vanguard Circle at Limit Break 4, but his other skill, which is what matters, is that when placed on Vanguard Circle, you can count +2 to lock one of your opponent's rearguards. So this can be the front row too, meaning that you can basically ride into him if he got rushed and punish them for rushing. Some builds run 4 of this and just 1 Schwarzschild and then run this as the heal. You can do as you wish, or run Nebula Lord as the heal, so some builds even focus on him. So you can experiment as you wish, but I feel like Schwarzschild fills a pretty good role in this deck too. Now, how about the grade 2s? Well, grade 2s, we have Mobius Breath Dragon. He has a Vanguard Circle only skill that when his attack hits a Vanguard, then you can lock one of your opponent's rearguards. Usually you will use this to lock their starter. That way you can basically make it so that they can't use their starter for that turn. Whether it's a Linchu or a grade 3 Searcher, it's usually quite useful because you just freeze them for that one turn and they can't do much with it. So good card to have in general. Then I'm running 3 10k vanillas, just to basically have a tanky 10k vanilla that if you lock their back row, they have to either retire your 10k vanilla or call a 10k or higher attacker. So if they only have grade 2s or grade 1s in hand, they have to attack with their Vanguard to your rearguard, even if they have more rearguards to attack with. So that's where locking the back row comes in handy. Then we're also running 3 of the Niobium. So his skill is when you lock an opponent's rearguard by your card's ability, he gains +3k power. So when you lock, 2 cards, he gains +6, lock 3 cards, gains +9, etc. So he can get pretty buff, especially with Nebula Lord's buff on top of that. So he's really good. And finally, I'm running 3 Singularity Sniper. So she's a really cool card that I liked from the start, but wasn't playing at first, but now I really do enjoy using her. When her attack hits a Vanguard on rearguard circle, you can lock, if your opponent has a locked card, then you can lock another rearguard. It can also be the front row. So for example, if they have, let's say like they just put something that's like a grade 3 or a grade 1 in the front row, and you have like a back row of theirs locked, you can then lock their front row rearguard, thus basically making their front row useless. So that's a really nice card. It's good to pair up with like Nebula Lord or with your starter or anything really. So I'm really big fan of this card. You can adjust the ratios as you want. Some builds run less of this and run like 4 10k vanillas or 4 Singularity Snipers. So just experiment with the ratios. I personally liked this 4-3-3-3 myself. Then we're running 4 of the Lantan, sorry. So he's the same as the Niobium. When you lock an opponent's rearguard by your card effect, he gains +3k every time. So again, helps us push for big columns. 3 8k vanillas basically makes for nice numbers with stuff like this. And also when you have one locked card of the opponent's, he becomes 12. And so with this, it's a 20. So if you're going first, with this, it becomes a 20. And then with one more, it's 23. So you can build up nice magic numbers depending on if you're going first or second and stuff like that. So I like the 8k vanillas for now until we get the next set stuff. And then running 2 of the Opener of Gates, I think she's called. So when she's placed on rearguard circle, if your opponent has 2 or less rearguards, then you can discard 1 and draw 1. And so keep in mind that if your opponent has like a full field of cards and then you lock 3 of them, that counts as them having only 2 rearguards because locked cards aren't seen as rearguards. So that's why she's a good card. And of course, 4 PGs. And our starter is Dusttail Unicorn. So rearguard circle, if your opponent has a locked card, you can count +1, put him into the soul to lock one of your opponent's other rearguards. So this is usually going to be used when you break right over Infinite Zero, you lock their front row and their back row, and then you use the Dusttail Unicorn to lock another front row, thus doing the triangle V lock. So yeah, that is all the cards that we are using in this Nebula Lord decks. Now let's get into some games and try to win them, because depending on the matchup, it'll go either amazingly or terribly. So don't hate me if we lose. I've also been using, as you can see, it's like halfway through level 1, so I've played a good few games with the deck, but I'm definitely no master with it. I'm much more excited for when Chaos comes out, and in general, my favorite Link Joker archetype is Messiahs in general, and that's not going to be out for quite a while. So I'll do my best with this Wave 1 Link Joker, but in my opinion, this is one of the lesser fun variants of the deck. Alright, we have a pretty good opening hand. We have the Break Ride, we have the Nebula, we have grade 1 and 2 rides. I'm going to keep everything, and the PG too. Alright, that feels like a good hand to start on. We're playing against Narukami, so he's using Linchu, which means that we're probably going to be losing our Dusttail Unicorn here. So that's alright, that's a loss that you're willing to take in a matchup like this. Alright, so he rides the Ryan, and let's see where he goes with this. Oh man. I was really on the fence about Digimon TCG because I was playing it quite a lot with Tabletop Simulator and trying out the different decks, and then, after I opened these boxes and when I got what I got, I was like, well, if you're pulling me in like this, you know, if you're giving me this bait, I'll bite. I'll bite on the bait. You know what? I'll take it. So, you know, sometimes you gotta listen to the card game gods. You know, card game Jesus is out there. You know, card game Jesus is good friends with the Moses that used the Beyblade, you know, to part the sea. So, you know, you gotta listen to card game Jesus. Sometimes, you know, you wanna just like try out a card game just casually, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic or Pokemon, but then you open like a few packs and you pull like secret rares and like SP packs and like all this crazy stuff, and you're just like, maybe this is a sign. Maybe I should be listening. Maybe I shouldn't just go blind to what the world is showing me, you know, and just go with it. And it's funny because I was complaining how if you don't know, basically the Digimon card game, like they're releasing 3 sets in 2 sets. And so basically they took set 1, 2, and 3 from Japanese format and randomly like separated them along set 1 and 1.5 for the English version. And so basically the situation is that there's 30 total, let's say, triple rares from those 3 sets, right? So 10 in each. And they decided to put, for some reason, they decided to put, how many? 20 in the first, like the 1.0 set, and then 10 in the 1.5 set. So it's not even like a 15-15 split. And then a lot of the decks that can fight against the best deck, which is Omnimon, they put it in 1.5, which doesn't release until February. So essentially, until February, all this time, you're going to be playing with Omnimon meta, which is basically set 1 meta, so it almost feels like there wasn't much point to be putting set 2 and 3 stuff in here, apart from making like purple viable. But yeah, sorry, I'm getting into Digimon discussion here, but so I had gripes with it because also my favorite decks that I was looking forward to were relegated to the next set rather than this set 1.0, and so I was a little bit salty about that, and I wasn't really looking forward to the release as much. But after getting what I got, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna shut up. I'm just gonna shut up and play, you know what. Anyway, looking back at the game, our opponent is playing hard to get. He does not want to be pushed too much, but you know what? Like, if he's not giving me anything, I'll give him something. God, it's such a cool ride chant. I love it so much. Oh my god. Hoi! Alright, so, what are we doing here? I'm gonna call this first to see what I can filter into, and then we're gonna push him a tiny bit. We're gonna give him the 4 damage, to be honest. Let's discard one of my Nebula Lords here. We don't need the second one. So, drawing 2. Not a PG, but good enough. Alright, this will probably be safe, and I think I'm gonna call it Mobius Breath, so it can just sit there. It's a vanilla on Rearguard Circle, so you only play it for the Vanguard Circle effect. So any spare copies, you just throw them down. 2 PGs gone. Alright, sir. You may have Limit Break then. Let's see what you can do with it. So we have 1 PG, so if he gauntlets me and somehow manages to build it up to like 5 crit or something, we'll still be fine. He actually can't physically do that because he can only retire 3 rearguards of mine, so yeah, let's see where this goes. So we've lost our Dusttail Unicorn, but luckily, it's nothing to worry about because we can break right into Nebula Lord. Let's see if he actually takes my bait, you know, I'm pushing him here, I'm giving him that limit break, I'm like, go ahead, you know, you can, go ahead, go. You know, but let's see if he takes it. Let's see if he takes it. But yeah, what other new things have I done? Ooh, yes, I told this on stream, but I bought a new camera. Ooh, Descendant, okay. Well, so Black Friday, of course, happened. And I usually don't buy anything on Black Friday, but this time around I was actually like, you know what? I'm gonna treat myself because, you know, my channel's been doing really great this year, and, you know, we managed to build up the stream and everything, and just, you know, it's holiday season, so I was like, I feel like I need to upgrade my gear. This camera is really good, but the autofocus on it is quite terrible, and I'm not the biggest fan of the colors either. It's an Olympus, so if you know colors between like Olympus and Sony and stuff that I've been taught by my friends, you know, there are differences. And I also, like, my original lens for this camera broke, so I bought this one that's like super zoomed in. Or not super zoomed in, but quite zoomed in. And for Zero videos, it's good because you have this like boxed view of me, you know, here on the side of the screen. But when I'm doing discussion videos where it's just me occupying the entire screen, I really like when there's more of my body in it. And so I could have either bought a new lens. My opponent's actually he's doing smart things here, because now he can swing under, give the trigger power to the rears, and re-stand with a crit and push me to 5. And healing is good for him too. Healing is good for him too. Alright. But no, he gave the power to his Vanguard, so he's just pushing me to 4. Okay, never mind. Well, In that case... The chants are too cool, man. The chants are way too cool. Oh my god. Alright. Want to make it so we can't do much here. Very nice. Alright, so I am going to use Nebula Lord here, simply because I need to have 3 locked cards on his side of the field when I'm going into my battle phase, so it's at the start of battle phase, so it's important to lock it there. So we lock all this stuff. Oh, I should have called this first. My bad. It's okay though. It's alright. Yeah, I think I need my rears, otherwise he's gonna bust my head open, and I don't want that. We won't be able to kill him, but I'll get an extra draw out of it. So let's just push him here and see what happens. And he can only attack like twice next turn anyway, so yeah. Some people play stands in this, but it doesn't plus enough to be viable enough with stands, I feel. But yeah, unfortunately we don't have Dusty Old Unicorn to lock his other front row, so just one front row lock here. Gonna attack with Vanguard first. It's 37, but this is like Giga Massive too. So I want to see if I can... check a heal, not draw it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Can't do me like that. Can't do me like that, man. 38k, let's go, baby. Alright. He gets a draw, that's fine. So now he's pushed me to 4. But he only has 2 attacks, which means that he has to have a card that can retire my rear guard, and then he can go rear into rear. If he has 2 cards that can retire my rears, he can call them to both open circles, pop both of them, and then swing with a rear guard that has at least 11k power to put me to 16, then swing with a Descendant with 11, swing under, give power to rear guard, restand with a crit, and then kill me. Or, no actually, because he's going to push me to 5, so he needs a rear that can hit for 11. Never mind. Forget everything I said. Forget everything. Subete alles. Alright, so now we have 2 options here, because if we draw into another Schwarzschild, which could happen because drawing into heals is literally the part of the game, you know. You don't play Vanguard if you don't draw into heals at least once per game. But if we do, then we can go into Schwarzschild and just lock up his front row again. But if we don't, then that changes things a lot, because then we don't have a front row lock anymore. And so with this, if I rode this, I have to Counterblast 1 to add another copy to hand, and I don't have the Counterblast for the other part of the skill anymore. So basically, I think what we have to do... this is the rough part. You get this one big lock turn, and then after that it's just like... Nothing much. Nothing much. So... yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else to do. I'm thinking... I only have 1 intercept. I have no way to lock 3 cards because Nebula Lord only locks back row. It's not even like random locking or anything. And I feel like locking his back row will do nothing. I'd rather keep the Counterblast for something else later on. The numbers don't make a difference either, mostly because I'm just going to swing Vanguard, so... Well, Schwarzschild, if you're going to come out... I only had 1 Schwarzschild to begin with? Oh. Did I heal early? I guess I did, huh? Well, alright. Let's see some magic. His heals were also very nice. Oh, the PG, don't be double. It wasn't double, but still bad. Alright. Yeah, I think we're busted here. Well, there's not much we can do. We had like a good turn of the break ride turn. I don't know what else we could have done. I didn't have an extra Infinite Zero too, because sometimes you just go Infinite Zero over Infinite Zero to just keep like recurring the front row locks, because Nebula Lord doesn't have access to them. So here, yeah, we're in a pretty tight position because he can basically just like swing rear, swing Van, take out my PG, and then swing Van with the rear, kill me, and then swing with the Descendant again to kill me even harder in case I live. So I think this game's a wrap. Even a heal I think doesn't save me. If he plays it right, he can play around my last heal. In his position, I have 2 heals left, but you know, I know that we don't. Anyway, let's see what happens here. So, yeah, like this is kind of the problem with current Link Joker, is that like if this was Chaos, you know, if we expect Chaos to have front row locking, you can at least keep pushing them and like keep relocking those front rows to have that kind of pressure. And also you get to draw and retire when stuff gets unlocked, so that, like, the thing is, after that big break ride Nebula Lord turn, you just don't do much. Like, you don't draw unless you can get 3 cards blocked, but you have to call a whole back row for that, and you have to count as 3 for that. Maybe calling the Singularity Sniper, I called it too early maybe, but even then, I feel like that I don't know. I feel like I needed that double intercept there. Maybe not, but I feel like I did. Alright, so he's gonna swing. He's actually... Yeah, this is still playing around to heal. So this hits me. I heal here, for example. I don't, but if I did, you know, I would only be 21. So fortunately, we don't get that first one. But let's run it back and see if we can turn things around. So, again, like I said earlier, current Link Joker, it needs this clown. The clown of the Cray, Planet Cray, really needs to come through to make this clan better. But for now, I mean, it's still good. It still counters some decks. But the most popular things in the meta, aka Descendant and Revengers, are way too popular. Playing as Novas, if this is Ethics Buster Reverse, it's actually not. You know, you might see Novas and go, oh, it's a Rearguard Reliant clan, we're good. We're not that good. Alright, I'm gonna go for this kind of mulligan, keeping the PG, because I don't want to get one-shot. And, ooh, no Infinite Zero this game. And we might have to ride the PG. Ooh, Riot Horn. Maybe he's playing Extreme then. If he decides to push me, because that's one of the main kind of like game plans that they have against Link Joker. If they decide to push me really hard with the, against the Break Ride, and just like rush me to 4 damage before I even ride grade 3, then we might be... Oh, Nebula, I like you, but not that much, you know. We gotta social distance. We gotta keep up that social distance. We can't be getting too close. We are homies, but, you know, even homies can't be getting this close in 2020. I know that it's fine to smooch the homies goodnight, but Nebula Lord, it's 2020. We can't be smooching the homies goodnight in 2020. It's the one time, the only year. We gotta pace ourselves. We gotta make some distance. We have to keep each other at arm's length and not smooch the homies this year. Alright, well, let's get back into things. We have the Mobius Breath ride. All we need to do is top deck Infinite Zero. Haha! Haha! I mean, there was a funny happening where Vanguard Insider, he was asking why they're starting with Clan Selection Volume 2 reveals instead of Clan Selection Volume 1. And so the reason that Knack gave is that those cards, Fromage and Dauntless, are relevant to Zero players, so that the Zero players that are watching the stream next week during the Zero anniversary will be interested in what's happening. And like, I told him that, and then he replied, yeah, I had a feeling there was a Zero correlation, and then something. But then I saw that Zero correlation, I was like, but there is a correlation. It's not a Zero correlation, there is a correlation. I was like, oh wait, he means Vanguard Zero correlation. Yeah, okay. So my work brain just went, you know, just activated itself seeing the word correlation. So, I don't know, that kind of thing happens sometimes, even on a weekend, even on a lovely Saturday evening in which you're full of adrenaline and ready to go about life. Alright, our opponent is deciding their next ride. Will he go into Extreme, or is he deciding on regular Ethics Buster? Alright, I guess he was just disconnecting for a second. Alright, so what's the game plan, boss? What you gonna give to me? I got my Infinite Zero. The SP is really cool, actually. Okay, he's doing the same thing. Not gonna put down anything. Ooh, and healing too. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. All cool with me. We don't lose our Dusttail Unicorn here either, so that's also good. We can hold on to him for a while. So that's also nice. Alright, here we go. Oh, we could even do Infinite Zero into Infinite Zero. Oh, you spoil me for choice. Shiro to Kuro no Link. I understand why Link Joker fans love Link Joker so much. Like, it is really cool. Like, the art and everything is really cool. Messiahs is what got me. You know, it's also like super cool, amazing art, like all that kind of stuff. I wasn't really into Starvaders at first, also because my teammate was playing them. So when this set came out in English, in the TCG for the first time, oh my god, I've drawn all my Nebulas. But when this set first came out in the TCG, I was playing DP, so I was playing Daikaiser and Reverse Dayusha, and like Lukier and Revengers, and then my teammate, he built Chaos, and like, you know, Link Joker from the first set. And I remember we were playtesting with Nebula Lord, and we were just like, yeah, this don't do much. This don't do much. So then we kind of waited for Chaos, and when Chaos came out, I was like, I wish this didn't happen. This do too much. This one, he do too much. Anyway, I'm worried that he's holding on to an Ethics Buster reverse, and he will kill me in a single shot. But I feel like I have no choice but to press on. We march forward. How do I have not a single grade 2? Look at this. Almost all of my grade 2s are in the deck. But how? Nande? I don't follow, y'all. I don't need to call this because, like, I can just swing with this. He is defensive. I have to, like, try for this. I'm denying my own heal, but I think it's worth it. I'd rather push him to 5 and just, like, lock him up. You know, put him in jail for the rest of the game. See? See what I said? You see what I mean? I feel like I still want to give him Limit Break, though. Let's see. Let's see if we even check triggers. We don't. Alright, so we don't give him Limit Break. So it's going to be another turn of just swing pass. He's probably going to swing a rear then and keep me at 3, because, I mean, that's what you do against Link Joker. But I want to give him 5, because I have the hand that can survive against big boy ethics. So I think 2 PGs should be alright. If anything, he's giving me more time to gather up my own intercepts and stuff, so... Alright, ooh, Trance Riser in ethics? That's kind of rare. Alright, so here he's setting up an intercept. He doesn't want to give me all the resources. He wants to make me put down extra cards because he can see that I am giving him Limit Break. I'm willing to give it to him. So he's like, no. That's quite alright. That's quite alright. Alright, see, I'm drawing into intercepts now. So now I can call this down. And then call down my other Nebula Lord. And he's like, oh, you don't want to give me Limit Break? That's fine, bro. That's A-okay. That's cool. We're champ chilling, bro. But you can have... You can... Go ahead. Go ahead, man. I feel like last game I did this too and I lost. Alright, no defensive this time. We can push him to 5 unless he heals. And then once he's at 5, I mean... Sometimes you can also just, like, go into Nebula Lord without break riding. And just, like, use the back row lock and then use Dustil Unicorn to lock the front row and then just bully them. Alright, that's a PG gone as well. That is vital information. Vital. Vital information. Alright, he's going for it. My man's ready to go sicko mode. I think I'm alright. You know, famous last words, but I think I'm alright. I think I'm alright. Please don't make me eat my words. Please don't make me eat my words. Mr. Ikura-chan. Ikura-chan, please do not make me eat my words. I would be ever so grateful if you just go for a nice, tame, you know, chill, relaxing Sunday afternoon turn in which, it's actually Saturday afternoon, evening, night, 10 p.m. In which you just bash some of my rears, maybe give me 1 damage or 2. 2 damage is okay, you know, I'll take the extra. You're attacking rear first, I know, I understand. Defensive, please come to my side. That's 1. Don't kill me, please. Please don't check 2 triggers. Please don't check 2 triggers. Please don't check even 1 trigger. Even 1 trigger is too much. This is scary, y'all. Alright, this doesn't hit, but you can restand it. It's gonna be 22. No triggers. If he checks even 1, I'm dead. Please don't see 1. I will be dead. Ah! And I thought I was safe. I was a fool. I am but a fool. I was mistaken. Maybe I should have gone for Nebula Lord. Pause. I cannot believe my eyes. You have 10 million butterflies? God damn. Are you kidding me? I haven't seen a 6 damage heal on my side in like 70,000 billion years. Alright, we use the Dust Tail for the triangle lock. We're still vibing, we're still chilling, we're still grooving. That's all that matters. We are still grooving and champ chilling. Alright, power up. Give the squad the buffs. Make them eat the juice. Alright, cool. Did he check? He checked at least 1 PG, right? I'm not stupid. Here goes one. Here goes one. Oh my god, he can actually restand. He could restand if he heals here twice. He can actually restand. I should have locked one more card. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Don't heal, don't heal, don't heal. Oh, it's the last one. Oh my god. Oh, I'm not. I can't play this game, man. This is too much. This is too much. This is too much. Whoa. Arigatou gozaimashita. I cannot believe everything that just happened. That those last two turns just why? Just, I have no words. I don't know what to tell you. That was unprecedented, to say the least. Anyway, I don't think I've ever gone through this many emotions in a deck and fight, so I hope you enjoyed that. This was fun to make. Hopefully it was fun to watch as well. We'll be back with Link Joker in probably 2 months. You know, looking at how set 13 has no Link Joker, and the last 2-point expansion will be 2.3, and that's the last of the reverse expansion, so I'm assuming Chaos Breaker will come out there. So probably in January we're gonna have a very eventful time on New Year's Day opening packs. But yeah, that's it. There's still one more deck and fight coming up, which will be the Ethics Extreme. That's coming out tomorrow, so look forward to that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to check out my second channel as well, as I mentioned at the start of the video, and join us for the Set 13 pack opening as well on Tuesday, December 1st at 9 AM CET, Central European Time, on my Twitch. Link in the description as well. Anyway, that is it for me today. That is a lot of emotions that I have gone through in this one video. Peace.